Sahibul Saif, Shaykh Abdul Karim Kabir Rabbani, to send us something that is going to benefit us and others. We know nothing. Our knowledge compared to his is like a drop in the ocean. But we are asking him for his support so that we may speak something that we may take and we may put into our lives. Tarikatana suhbat fil khayri min jamiyat. Our tarikat, our way is founded on suhbat. It's based on suhbat. The foundation is association. With the suhbat, the believer will have more faith. With the suhbat, the believer will have more intelligence. With the suhbat, the believer will have more modesty. With the believer listening to the suhbat, he will know where his limit is. And for a man who understands his limit, that is a wise one. Because now, when you come to the limit, when you recognize that there is a limit, you are going to say, let me find out more. Let me find out something from someone who knows more than me. That time his station will continue to rise. Continue to rise. But for a man, he doesn't know his limits. He passes his limits. He will learn nothing. Because every time he's going to say, I know. I know. I know. And that man becomes heedless. That man becomes arrogant. Now, when you have heedlessness and arrogance especially, that time, very easy for shaitan to enter. So now, all knowledges is teaching us to know ourselves and to know where our limits end. That's the time Allah is going to send someone that Allah is giving an order to us in the Quran Karim. Be with the Salihin. Find the Salihin. When you are together with the Salihin, you are going to learn. Yes, everyone is looking for knowledge. Knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. Read, read, read. They're reading, but knowledge is very little. They're saying knowledge, Holy Prophet ﷺ saying, seek knowledge even if you have to go to China. Do you think he's telling us to go to China to seek the dunya knowledge? That those ones following Holy Prophet ﷺ, believing and taking the words that Allah is saying, He does not give value to this world like He gives value to one wing of a mosquito. So now we come to knowledge. Where are you going to find it? From whom? What is the knowledge that is for you? Not for others. There are so many different kinds of knowledge, but if you take the knowledge that is not for you, it becomes Malayani. It becomes knowledge that does not concern you. That time, even though it's knowledge, but it doesn't concern you. If you are busy with it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying through His Prophet ﷺ, there is a sign that Allah does not love that believer when he's busy with knowledge that doesn't concern him. So yeah, we need to learn how to learn first. Then we need to learn what to learn and from who. What were the Sahaba Kiram surrounding the Holy Prophet ﷺ? What were they doing? Were they not learning? Did they say we learn from Allah? No. Did they say we learn from Quran? Or did they say we learn from the Holy Prophet ﷺ? Then after Holy Prophet passed, they could all say, we learn from Prophet. Why we have to now learn from Hazrati Abu Bakr? Accept his authority. Why we have to do that? But they didn't. It continued for 1400 years until the poison coming from secularism, from nationalism, that Prophet forbid, began to enter into the Muslim Ummah. And they say, we want nationalism, we want independence. Today is Independence Day, huh? They say we want independence. We want to be independent from the representative of the Prophet, from the Khalifa. We want to rule ourselves. We want to learn from ourselves, by ourselves. No more we're going to look to that Holy One. No more we're going to look to that one who is above. Quran Karim is saying there is a knower above every knower, isn't it? You know that ayat? Yes. We're going to train you how to become a real Hafiz. Don't worry. There is a knower above every knower. But now, with this poison, saying everybody, they are equal. Now, the poison enter. And the Muslims are saying, why we have to learn from this one? Why we have to learn from that one? Why we have to learn from sheikhs? Why we have to learn from imams? Why we have to... The poison, they're teaching us, brother, don't you read the Quran? Learn from the Quran. Why you have to go to a teacher, especially now? Why you have to go to a sheikh, to a murshid, to learn? Learn from the Quran. Reading the Quran, you get blessings. Yes. Reciting the Quran, we encourage you to. So many people make fitna. They say our group, our tariqat, our association is saying to people, don't read the Quran. Those are foolish ones. They just want to make fitna, but may Allah guide them. But let me ask you something to remind everyone. Shaykh Effendi said years ago, for those ones who say you learn everything from the Quran, don't go to anyone, don't go to anywhere, only take the Quran and read, you can read. And we say, take the book of Quran. Is the Quran going to tell you even how to make wudu? No. The Quran, take it. Learn how to pray, the namaz. Is the Quran going to explain to you, tell you how to pray? No. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, there is a knower above every knower. And the Quran came down to that one who possessed the Quran. It came down to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And now, Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam is teaching others the Quran, teaching others Islam, teaching others spirituality. Now find those ones. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not saying be salihin, especially in this 21st century. The Muslims in the Akhir Zaman were very weak. But it says be with the salihin. It is an order. The Holy Quran. It's another ayat you must know. Be with the salihin. Be with the salihin means sit with them. Learn from them. Learn how to learn. Learn how to polish your heart so that your heart becomes a mirror. Then clean your heart from all the dirtiness that is surrounding your heart. Clean your heart from all the other ilahs that we have put into our heart. We remove all the ilahs from the Kaaba, from everywhere. But we have put now the ilahs into our heart. Tariqat is concentrating on that. Take out all the diseases of the heart. Take out everything that you are busy with other than Allah. Some people, they worship cars. Some people, they worship their children. Some people, they worship their husbands, their wives, their houses, their jobs, anything. Some people, they worship dogs. Remove all of that. Worship Allah. Be with those ones, the Ahli Zikr. Ask from them. Learn from them. Take instruction from them. These are not my words. This is what Quran Kareem is saying. If you have anything you want to ask from the Ahli Zikr. Like what I said before, we are not claiming to be anything. We know nothing. Our knowledge, if it adds up, maybe less than a drop into the oceans of the knowledge that belongs to our Shaykh. But we are always asking him for support that he is going to reach to us from the other side. And whatever that he sends to us is going to be benefiting. The sohbat, it is necessary. Because the sohbat is a time when the faith, when the prayer, when the zikr, everything is going to be together. And you start putting your intelligence, you start putting your faith in it, you start to look at it. And you start to understand. You start to take knowledge from it. Because so many people, they pray, but they don't get the benefit of prayer. Because they pray in ghaflat. So many, they make zikr too, but they don't take too much benefit from the zikr. Because their zikr, they're doing it in heedlessness. They're saying Allah, Allah, but their heart is circling somewhere else. But in the sohbat is when the meanings of the prayers and the meanings of the zikr and the meanings of all the worship, like what we said before, we start to question, to become really honest and sincere with yourself, to look at it and to say, am I really being with the salihin, or am I letting my ego to trigger? So that's the time you start cleaning yourself. Cleaning yourself, getting rid of all the ilahs from your heart. That is marifat. That is the highest knowledge. And with that knowledge then, yes, you start to understand the tricks and traps of your ego. Then, that time, you start protecting yourself against the shaitan, against the dunya, against your desires, and against your ego. That's the time when, yes, you start to fall in love with your Lord. You start to fall in love with the Akhirah. You start to fall in love with the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Then you start to fall in love with those ones that he loves, the awliya Allah. You start to fall in love with them. You start to fall in love with their lives. And you're going to look at the world and you start to have distaste, emptiness for the world. You're going to be surrounded by the world, but you're not going to put the dunya into your heart. You're not going to be busy with the world. That time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will order the world to run after us. As long as we are running after the world, we will never catch the world. We will never catch Akhirat. But once we start to run after the Akhirat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will command to give an order to the world to run after us. That is the time you're going to see how easy things will work out for you. That in your own wildest imagination, you can never put it together, but unusual things start happening. And when things start happening in the dunya, it will start giving you more faith. Because you say, Subhanallah, Allah is planning everything perfectly. Who am I that He's planning this for me, but He's making it to work for me? He's not making me to get so busy. He's giving me strength to carry this world, and all the problems of this world, I'm able to carry it stronger, and it's offering a solution for it. And that's the time, yes, you start living for Akhirat. And your life in dunya will give you more faith for the Akhirat. Inshallah Rahman. May it be easy for us in these last days, in these dark days, in this Akhir of the Akhir Zaman. As long as we are holding on tightly to the rope of Allah. Allah did not say, hold on tightly to my rope separately. He did not. Another ayat, you must know. He says, hold on tightly to the rope of Allah together and do not separate. The rope of Allah is the Holy Prophet ﷺ. When he passed 1400 years ago, his rope still continues with his successors. And alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we have one of the strongest ropes for these times. Our Shaykh Abdul Karim Kabrisiya Rabbani, that we are holding on tightly. Inshallah, we will never let go. Anyone who wants to be with us, anyone who wants to understand and experience the faith, anyone who wants to experience the mercy of the Holy Prophet ﷺ through our Shaykh, you are welcome. Welcome to those who come, farewell to those who leave. May Allah raise the station of our Grand Shaykh and our Shaykh higher and forgive us, inshallah, for the sake of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Al-Fatiha.